Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Emily from Planted Planted. I don't think I've shown my face on this page in a while, probably since my planner lineup video last year. So if that's the case, here I am. This is me. It's December 10th, December 11th when I'm filming this. The new year is upon us, rapidly approaching, and so I have been thinking long and hard about my planner lineup for 2026. And I think I finally have it figured out, and everything has gotten to me now. I'm gonna show you my stack for next year, my proposed stack, and we're gonna kind of talk through some things. I'm planning on using 4-ish books this year. I think I said I had like 7 lined up, maybe 8 for 2025, and by the end of the year I was barely even using 1. I was using 2, I think, by the end of the year. So everything kind of got off track really quickly, but there were some good reasons for that, and I'm hoping that similar craziness won't happen next year, but it also might. So this is just the ideal, obviously, and if things change, then they change and we will adjust accordingly. But for now, we're going to talk about these 4 books, what they are, what I'm planning on using them for. So we're going to go back to my desk and I'm going to flip you around and let's chat. First things first, we need to acknowledge and appreciate how beautiful these books all look together. I'm kind of obsessed with them. So first, we're going to start with my primary journal, which is the one that I've talked about the most on this channel, my common planner for 2026. I am sticking with the sterling ink. This is what it looks like for 2025. This year I did decide to do the half book, so it's split into 2 years. So this is January through June, and this is July through the rest of the year, because this 2025 book is so thick and the writing process is just not very fun for me when I get towards the end here, especially because I do a decent amount of long form like writing. And it's just not very fun, and it leads to a lot of like me not using my journal at the end of the year. The same thing happened in 2023 when I used my Hobonichi. So I did the half year common planner in 2024, but then for 2025 I was obsessed with this mulberry color, and I still am, and I would have picked this color again, but it was between having a lot of color options with a full year book or not a lot of color options with a half year, and so I just decided to stick with the black. And that's fine. I'll be fine. As you can see, I did do some of the same gold doodles that I did last year, and I did film a video doodling this cover to show you guys my process and what products I use. So if you're interested in seeing how I did this, make sure to keep an eye on my channel and subscribe for that video. I haven't done anything with the second year book yet because who knows how I'll be feeling by the second part of the year, how I want to decorate it. So yeah, this one will be pretty similar to how I use this in 2025, which is like journaling, memory keeping, tracking. I'll also link a video of me walking through how I have used this book this year. It's probably not going to change a whole lot for next year just because I kind of figured out a system that I liked for this, and I might play around with it a little bit, but I'm not really in the season of my life where I'm trying to like reinvent my wheel when it comes to my like journaling practice. So it's going to be a lot of the same stuff if we're being honest. But that's that. I don't have a cover for it. This year I used because this is, as you'll see, this is a B6 size, so it's a little bit smaller. And I did move up to the A5 size, primarily because I do like to use sticker kits in like the weekly pages here, and sticker kits pretty much only come in a week's size or an A5 size, so I decided to just go ahead and go with the A5 and have a little bit more space for the daily pages. So I think that'll be fun to be back in that size again. I do like the B6 size, but I wasn't committed enough to like stick with it this year, I guess. So that is going to be my main like journal and memory keeper for 2026. This next one is new to my lineup. Well, I had something similar for this past year, but I really didn't find it a system that I really liked, so I'm trying something that I haven't tried before. This is an A5 Magnet Weekly Essential Planner from Estelle. So for last year, this is basically supposed to serve as my actual like planner. So appointments, events, like life tracking, to-do lists, weekly goals, meal planning, stuff like that. That's like not super exciting all the time. I originally started last year with a Hobonichi Techo, the A6 size, and it just did not work with what I wanted for it. And so a few months in, I switched to this little A6 notebook that was blank. And I kind of made, I basically did a bullet journal style where I made all of the pages from scratch. So I did the monthly pages, and then I just had like a weekly kind of dashboard where I would like have this and then like meals to prep, like a general to-do list for the week, and then like my daily task list where I could kind of go in each day and put in what I wanted to get done. And it worked well, but I just got really tired of setting it up. And part of it is that I just, as you can see, I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep this bare bones, but I just don't know how to do that. I'm always adding stickers and colors and washi, which just inevitably makes it take longer. So I think I stopped, I guess September. I mean, I was kind of in and out of it, but September was really when I stopped for sure using it. And I got this Wonderland 222 planner. It was 2025, so it was on sale because I just used it for the last part of the year, but I was thinking about using one of these for 2026. So I wanted to try it out before I bought the full version, the full new version for 2026. And I like it, but again, it just wasn't fully what I want. So basically, I liked it, but I'm glad I tried it out because I don't think this is something I could see sticking with me for the full year, mainly because the to-do lists, like the daily to-do list columns, are just like really not very wide. That's what I was using this for, and that was upsetting to me. So I'm going to use this Magnet Essential planner, and what I like about this, it's got your overview. I don't know if I'm going to use all of these pages, but so you have your monthly page. So this will be like tracking my appointments for the week or the month, and events and sitter dates. There is some habit tracking. Again, not sure if I'm going to use that. There's just like a blank page after each month. And then you have this weekly dashboard. Let me go to the next one. So you have this weekly dashboard right here. And I think this is just perfect for what I need. So I like having a running to-do list for the week where at the beginning of the week, I can sit down and say, here's all the things that I want to do this week. And if I have something come up that, I do want to get done, but maybe not that specific day or at that minute, I can add it to that list. So that's what this column over here is going to be. It's going to be my like weekly to-do list. I'm going to split these columns up so that the left side will be any like appointments or events that we have for the week. And then the right side will be meal planning, which I mostly just plan the dinners. And then this empty page over here, I'm going to have my running to-do list. So every morning or every day at some point, I'll come down and I'll say, this is Monday the 5th, and write down everything that I want to do that day. So some of it will be pulling from the task list over here, and some of it might be simple stuff like the dishes or like vacuuming the living room, which maybe don't need to go in a general to-do list because they happen every week or several times per week, but just things that I do want to do that day. And there are some days where I don't have anything that I specifically want to do, or I end up being sick or my daughter's sick or it's just a crazy day for us, so I don't, write anything down for that day, and so that's fine. I can just skip through it. So that's my plan for this notebook, and I think that it will work really well for me. It's also Tomo River paper, and I also like that it's sequential, so you have the month and then you have each week and then you have the next month. There are still like a lot of blank pages at the end. Like, that's a lot. Probably 100 or so. Yeah, I don't know that I'll end up using that. But they're there. Like, I could have done without those, but that's okay. So I'm not sure if I'll decorate this or use any sort of cover. I'm still kind of thinking about all of that, but that is what the goal of this notebook is for. So I'm excited to start using this in a few weeks. This next book is one some of you are probably familiar with, maybe not. It's a Hobonichi 5-year book. So it's got 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, and 2030. And basically each day it has a box for every year for the coming 5 years. So my idea for this is to kind of use it as like a documentation, like little book for my daughter. She is about 1.5 right now, and I just feel like there's so many things happening every day with her, and little funny things that happen that I want to document. And some of it does go into my personal planner, my memory keeping, but a lot of it's also like my personal feelings and emotions, and I really want this to be something that she can have when she's older and kind of flip through and just kind of see like what she was like as a kid and what her life was like. Because I did, for the first year of her life, I have a like scrapbook type thing, but it was so much work. I only got through like 3 or 4 months, and I still have so much to do to catch up for that year, and I don't know if that's actually gonna happen. And so I like the idea of this where I can just kind of like write a few things that happened that day or some cute things that she's doing, anything important. And then over here on the blank side, I plan on including any pictures that we had from that day, any sort of like random paraphernalia. Like the ladies at the grocery store know her really well, and they're always giving her stickers, so like maybe I'll put the stickers that she gets over here. I don't know, I don't have a specific plan for it, but mostly just like photos of each day. So I do worry about my ability to keep up with this, so I'm also I'm planning on starting a note in my phone to like list out, or maybe the journaling app in my phone, to have a quick recap of what I would put in here, so that if I do happen to miss a day or two, I don't suddenly feel like I have to remember, because some of it's really little stuff, like not stuff that I might remember a week later if I get behind. So I'm hoping to be able to like document it on my phone, and then within at least a week or two go through and put it all on these pages. So that's the plan for that. I know a lot of people can sometimes struggle to keep up with the 5-year, and I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but we'll see. I would like to get some sort of cover for this, just because it's supposed to last for 5 years, and even though I don't really plan on taking it anywhere, I just feel like it needs an additional layer of protection. So I'm going to keep my eye out for an A5 sized like cover for this. I also just like don't think this cover is that pretty or cute in general, which is not that big of a deal, but yeah, so I'm excited to use this one. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Last but not least, we have my reading journal. This is a B6 Archer and Olive notebook, and it's so pretty. I love the way that it looks. My reading journal this year was a hot mess. I basically stopped a lot of my journaling with all of the books that I had in my lineup last year, because I had some health issues come up and medication started that made me really tired. I talked about it in my last video with my common planner, so if you want to hear about it, you can watch that. But yeah, my reading journal, this is my reading journal for 2025, and it was actually also for 2024, but the 2024 stuff, I set it up and I recorded like 2 books. I don't know what happened to books number 2 and 3, but yeah, I stopped using it basically. I kept up a little bit better with the trackers, and I am going to go back and fill these in because these are a little bit easier to keep up with, but I just did not keep up with it. This B5 size was huge, and as you can see in the past, I've done these really creative pages for the books, like where there's washi and I'm copying the font and all this stuff, and it just was too much. It was too much for me. So I'm trying to simplify things this year and going back to my book journal roots. So this is my first book journal that I used, let's see, 2021 and 2022. I had both years in here, but I didn't have any trackers in here, and I just had quick little recaps of the books that I read and, some information about them. But because the page was so small, I really just couldn't do that much. It was constricting in a way, but also freeing because it was way less pressure. And, I can still get a little bit creative with it if I feel like I have that energy, but it is just a lot less to be thinking about. And so that's kind of my plan for this one. I am going to include a few trackers at the beginning because this one didn't have basically any, and my big B5 has a lot. So I'm going to find some sort of medium between them and have 4 or 5 that I actually use and reference back, and then each page will be one book going forward, and I think that will be a little bit easier for me to keep up with as the year goes on. Yeah, and I'm not going to get a cover for this because it's a hard cover and those usually hold up pretty well. I don't do a whole lot of journaling outside of my house, to be honest, so the covers are cute and nice, but not totally necessary. I am still considering adding a weeks of some sort because I used this for financial tracking last year, or I started to, and then again the medical issues just made me get rid of everything and stop doing it. But I have found myself, it's just writing down the things that I track the way that I was with this, or writing down the things that we spend, writing down every purchase, just made me so aware of where our money was going. And I hate that I don't feel like that right now. I've been trying to find some digital budgeting tracking apps, but I just don't feel like anything is the same as physically writing it down. But I don't know if I can commit to doing that again this year, along with all of these other things. So I'm still kind of thinking about if I want to get a 2026 weeks, because if I do financial tracking, it will be a weeks because it's just a perfect size for it. But I also, towards the end of the year, I had different things that I was trying, because I was I do want a weeks for 2026, but I didn't know what I was going to use it for. So towards the end, I was kind of just playing around and seeing different things that I might want to try. That was better because it did save me from making some purchases that I think I would have possibly regretted. But it's not an official part of the lineup yet, but I am thinking about it. That's an honorable mention, which is a weeks for 2026 for financial tracking. But yeah, that is my proposed lineup for this year. So yeah, if you have any questions about any of these notebooks or how I'm using them, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a reading journal setup video. I've done one every year for the last like 3 or 4 years, so I feel like I have to, but filming and editing these days is just kind of a lot with a toddler running around and screaming. We'll see. No promises. If it does happen, it probably won't happen until, I probably won't post it until the first of the year, like after the first of the year, but there you go. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I would love to hear about some of your lineup for next year in the comments below.